Hey, this is Stefan from ProjectLifeMastery.com, and today I'm going to help you determine and create your core life values. And we're going to go deep into helping you understand what's been controlling your life. What's the invisible force that's been controlling every decision that you make and the ultimate direction of your life. And if you can really understand this and discover it and participate with what I'm going to share with you guys today, and maybe even take out a pen and paper and go through the exercise I'm going to share with you guys, it's going to help you have awareness about the life that you have, the life you've already created, and it's going to help you identify of whether or not the values that you have are actually supporting and pushing you towards where you want to go, or if they're holding you back, if they're maybe leading you down a different direction. And you might find that, in some cases for some people in their lives, they set a vision for themselves or they set goals, things they're excited for, whether it's to make a certain amount of money or to build a business or to lose weight and create a certain body or attract a relationship. But here's the challenge. If you have a list of values that are not supportive of that, then there's always going to be resistance. It's going to require a tremendous amount of push and effort and willpower to be able to push yourself up, instead of just aligning yourself and shifting what you value, what's important to you, so that you can be pulled towards it with a lot more ease, less effort, and more enjoyment. So I'm going to share with you guys my values of what I've created for my life and how it's changed my life, and guide you guys through a process for that. Now let me ask you this question. Why do you have the life that you have? Why do you have the life that you have? And if you look around you right now, whether it's your environment, the home that you live in, the car that you drive, your current level of emotions that you consistently experience on a daily basis of your life, whether that's happiness and joy and fulfillment and laughter and fun and adventure, or maybe it's depression and sadness and frustration and anger and guilt and shame. What's determined the life that you have? Whether that is how much money you have in your bank account, whether you've got a business that's thriving, or whether you have a 9-to-5 job, or whether you're pursuing your passion, or you're doing something just, because you need the money, whether you live out of desperation, or you're an inspiration to others, or that you spend your time volunteering, contributing to other people's lives, or even your current physical environment. Your current body that you live in, whether you're overweight, whether you're fit, whether you're strong, whether you're healthy. What determines all of that, I think we both can agree, has been your decisions. Whatever decisions that you've been making in your life has led you to the life that you got. And I think first and foremost, we always got to accept that. We got to acknowledge it. We got to take responsibility. As easy it is to blame everyone else and blame the economy or blame our parents or blame this person or that person, ultimately we're responsible for our life. We're the ones that made certain decisions about what you put into your body each day, the foods that you eat, what you decide to spend with your time, because we all have the same amount of time, right? We all have 24 hours in the day, but what determines whether someone spends an hour of their day at the gym, or an hour of the day in front of the TV, or an hour of their day building their business, or several hours, or going to their job, or volunteering, or whatever it might be? Again, that's the decisions that you have made. And not unless someone's holding a gun to your head, you're the one that's in charge and control of that. Now, what's determining the decisions that you're making? What's determining the decisions you make overall in your life, your core decisions, not moment to moment. Moment to moment, we often make decisions based on comfort, or we can make decisions based just to change how we feel. But the most important core decisions that we make are always been based on our values. And what our values really are what's most important to us in our life. You see, whatever's important for you is going to help you determine the decisions that you make, right? So for example, if you value security as one of your top values, that's really important. You strive for that in your life, whether you're conscious of it or not. Then if someone has an opportunity for you to build a business and it requires a certain level of risk, then what are the chances that you're going to risk and jeopardize that security to build a business? You're not going to, because you value the security so much more. If you're someone, on the other hand, that values success and accomplishment and achievement, and you're really after that, then obviously you're going to make different decisions than someone else. You might invest in yourself, or you might really commit yourself to build a business, or start to learn about success and follow people that are successful. right? Or if, for example, you value health as your most important value, then obviously you're gonna probably make certain decisions about what you're gonna eat, what you're gonna put into your body, the cleaning products that you have around your house, your environment, because that's really important to you. You're gonna research that, you're gonna have an interest in that, you're gonna make decisions based off that. So we all value a lot of the same things, right? We all value the things that I might have mentioned, whether it's security, whether it's success, whether it's health, whether it's adventure or fun or happiness or joy or fulfillment or gratitude or passion. These are all things I think we can both agree we value, but here's the question. Do we all value them equally? And the answer is no. We all have a different hierarchy of values of what's most important to us. And that hierarchy is, again, determining the decisions that you make, which is gonna lead you to whatever life that's gonna show up for you, whether you're aware of it or not, right? And whether they support the life that you wanna create, or it's gonna support maybe the life that you already have that you might not be happy with. It's not until you make the shift and you go deep with this, what I'm gonna share with you guys today, that you'll be able to understand this a lot better about yourself, okay? Now, I originally learned this process about 5 years ago, back in 2012. And I remember I learned it originally from a few different schools of thought in the NLP community, which is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And if you haven't watched that video that I did on NLP, I recommend that you watch that video on my YouTube channel, because NLP has really influenced my life in an incredibly positive way. But I really didn't understand this and had a very simplified version of it until I went to the Tony Robbins seminar called Date with Destiny. And at Date with Destiny, he really goes deep on your values and discovering them and sharing a lot of the process I'm going to share with you today. And he also shares a little bit of it in his book, Awaken the Giant Within, which is actually one of my favorite books. And so you can learn a little bit more about it from those sources. But I'm going to share a lot with you guys here in today's video that will open up your mind, your eyes to how you've been living your life, okay? Now, here's how you determine, first and foremost, the values that you've been currently living your life by. And it's by asking yourself the question. And if you're open and committed right now, then maybe you could take out a pen and paper, maybe you can open up your computer and maybe start typing and ask yourself this question, because this question is what's gonna really allow you to understand what you've been valuing up until this point of your life. Okay, that's step number one. We're gonna assess that, we're gonna look at that, and then look at whether or not that is actually supporting you in creating the life that you want, your ultimate vision, the goals that you have for yourself, okay? And then once you determine your current values and you know where you want to go, then you can really construct and shift and modify your values and ask yourself, what are my values need to be to create the life that I want? And we can set yourself up to win for success. So again, you're pulled towards it, you're not pushing constantly, okay? So here's a question I want you to ask yourself, what I want you to write down, and what I want you to really ponder. I want you to ask yourself this question. What's been most important to me in my life? Okay, what's been most important for me in my life? And as I ask you that question right now, what's the first answer that comes up? Whatever it is, what's that answer? Whatever it is, write it down right now. Write it down on a piece of paper, write it down on your computer, and just trust whatever comes up. Don't think about it too much. Don't overanalyze it. Don't get too much in your head, because oftentimes the first answer is in our gut. It's really our intuition. And sometimes you just gotta trust whatever's coming up for you, okay? So again, let me ask, what's been most important for you in your life? Whatever it is, just write it down. Security, has it been being safe? Has it been happiness? Has it been success? Has it been money? Has it been family? Has it been love? Has it been passion? Has it been friends? Has it been travel? What has it really been for you? Now, I should clarify something. There's actually two different types of values. There's a means value and an ends value, okay? Oftentimes when someone says they value family, which is great, I want you to really understand, okay, there's family, but what is the emotion that you're really after to experience? Because at the core of it, our values are just emotions that we want to experience more of what's just important to us. Okay, so the emotions that are important to you from family, maybe you might determine, well, you know, my family is important to me, but maybe it's the love, or maybe it's connection, or maybe it's just the support, or maybe it's fun, or maybe it's, you know, it's the playfulness from that. What is the emotion that you're really after? The same thing you might say, well, it's my business. But again, what's the emotion that you've been after? If you say it's money, then what are you really after money for? What's the emotion that you're after? What's the means to the end? You know, if it's money, then maybe it's security. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's adventure, right? We all have different meanings and different emotions that we're after based on some of the objective experiences or the objective vehicles that we utilize to be able to experience the emotions that we want, okay? So again, what's been most important for you in your life? And then I want to ask yourself the question again, what else has been important for you in life? What else has been most important for you? Okay, it could be more than one. It doesn't have to be one thing. There's many things that have been important for you, okay? And whatever that is, write it down. Ask again, what else has been important for you in your life? Write that down. Again, what else has been more important for you in your life? And you're gonna keep asking yourself that question. You're gonna go deep. And you're gonna write down everything that's been important for you in your life. And again, try to steer that your focus and direction to the emotion, the core emotion that you've been after to experience. Okay, the emotional states. And write those down on a list. And what you're gonna find, you're gonna have a list something like this. And it might be totally different things that I have here. Again, there's there's actually thousands of emotions that we can experience. And it's different for everybody. So whatever it is, write down your list. And then as I said, what's really determining your decisions is your hierarchy of what's been most important for you. And this is where it goes a little bit deeper. And this is where it requires a little bit more of your time, because you really got to understand what has been, out of the list that you got, what has been the most important thing for you out of that list. What's been number one? Because whatever number one is, everything else is being filtered through that. And then you can help understand what's number two, and number three, and number four. And I'll share with you an example so you can understand this a little bit better, how that works. But understanding the hierarchy is critical. It's very important, because this is where a lot of the conflicts come up. So let me give you an example. For me in my past, what's allowed me to get to where I'm at today in my life has been a lot of things. I've always valued growth. Growth has been so high on my list. That's why I have the life that I've got, right? That's why I've made the decisions that I make. You know, many of you guys see, I've already so far this year invested tens of thousands of dollars to go into seminars and traveling around the world to improve myself, to grow. And what, you know, the reason why I would do that is because growth is obviously an important value for me, right? Some people don't value growth. And that, you know, obviously, you know, they're not going to probably go to a seminar. They're not going to read a book. They're not going to do the things that someone like myself would do because we just have different values. There's no right or wrong. There's no list, magical list I can give you. It's based on the life that you want. Okay, so for me in my life, I've valued growth in a big way since I was 17 years old, always improving myself every day, reading books, seminars, coaches, all that sort of stuff. And I've also, in another point in my life, really valued success and money. And really for money, what I was really after was freedom, right? That was an important value that I had in my life. Not as much security, to be honest, because, you know, to be honest with you, for me, you know, I was always comfortable, you know, living on a friend's living room if I have to, which I did for about a year. You know, I was comfortable staying in a hostel, and I was willing to take certain risks and sacrifice things. So security wasn't really high on my list. But at a certain point, success was, achievement was, freedom was. And so as you can imagine, by me valuing that in my life, that is what led me to make decisions in my life about deciding to build an online business, to become an entrepreneur. And sure enough, because of that, I had to sacrifice a lot and put a lot of attention, energy, and focus into creating my business, into really working hard and creating the brand Project Life Mastery and the life that I have today. Now, what happened though was, what's interesting, and this is where the hierarchy is important, is if you were to ask me before in the past, success at one point was like number one on my list. In fact, I remember a stage of my life where it was just all about that. And I was just totally desperate in my life, and I was in a dark place, and man, I'd wake up, man, and I would just get to work on my business, and you know, I wouldn't leave the house. You know, I remember one time I was in Bogota in Colombia, and I just was so committed. I was staying at a guest house, and I stayed up for 48 hours straight, man. I didn't sleep. One time I was just like so committed. I remember I used to go to like the 7-Eleven, or I forget what they call it there. It's a little bit different in Colombia, but I used to buy a loaf of like a pre-sliced sandwich bread and some sandwich meats and some mustard. And that I'd eat that for like the next 2 or 3 days, so I didn't have to like leave the house again because it's just inconvenient. I was just so committed to building that. Now, as you can probably imagine, if I value success so highly on my list, and I value it above something, let's say like happiness, as you can probably imagine, there's a bit of a conflict there. And that conflict is that if I value success above happiness, then I'm only going to allow myself to feel happy or really focus on my happiness unless I'm first successful. And that's how many people operate, by the way. Many people, they operate from a paradigm, a belief system, where they value success and money a lot more than happiness, a lot more than love, a lot more than the things that actually matter in your life, of what you're really after and what you really want to feel and experience. You know, many people, they'll buy a course on success to learn to be successful than they will to buy something on how to be happy. And that's, for me, just crazy, because ultimately you're going to achieve success because you think it's going to make you happy, but you're not going to be happy at the end of the day. And take this from someone that's achieved success and knows a lot of people successful. And I know you already know this because this is what almost all successful people talked about, that that's not it. And so for me, that was a huge conflict because I wondered why my life, I was just always trying to pursue success. And even when I achieved success, I was still pursuing more success, but I still wasn't happy. It's because I valued success above happiness. And in the same way, what happened for me at another point, and other people as well, is I at one point valued fitness, which is great, beautiful value, but I valued it above health. And when you value fitness above health, then you're going to indulge in things that are going to support you to be fit, but not necessarily support you to be healthy. So for example, I remember for myself, I did 2 fitness competitions many years ago. And even though I was the most fit I've ever been in my life, and I was ripped, and I had veins on my abs, and I got up on stage in these little trunks, and I was super ripped, I was actually the most unhealthy I've ever been in my life. And my adrenals were shot. I was consuming a lot of whey proteins and casein proteins and dairy products and foods that were high in protein and everything and fit my macros, but they weren't supporting my health. And you see a lot of people, for example, they'll actually take the path of taking drugs or steroids or whatever it is to achieve their value of fitness, because fitness for them is above health. And it wasn't until I realized, I value fitness, it's great, but I'm always have low energy. I'm always sore. I'm always tired. My body needs to rest and recover all the time, and I'm not eating the right foods. And then I made health a more important value eventually in my life. And now I will never compromise my health to be fit. And that doesn't mean I can't be fit. I definitely value fitness, but health is more important. So hopefully you're starting to see and understand how the hierarchy is important. How there's certain values that you might have that you value more than others that are creating a conflict in your life, that are affecting the emotions, the life that you have. And why you might in some cases be taking 2 steps forward and then two or 3 steps back. Why you might self-sabotage yourself, why it's requiring so much effort, so much force. I was working with a client today, and I was actually going over his values, and he really wanted to change his health, and improve his health and his fitness. And when we elicited his values, he never even had health on the list. And so I was like, no wonder that you're not creating a long-term change here through health and fitness, is because you don't value it. Someone that values health or fitness or their body, they're going to make sure that they do certain things that make sure they take good care of that. In fact, one strategy you can utilize is to model people that have the life that you want. Okay, let's say, for example, if we had someone right over here that is like a super athletic, healthy, fit person, if you were to ask and discover what are their values, I can guarantee you that health and fitness is going to be high on their list. They're going to make different decisions because they have health and fitness high on their list, that when they go to the movie theater, they're not going to buy the popcorn and the Coke, right? Because their value is so high of health. They're going to probably not eat anything or have a protein bar, right? Because their value is health and fitness, they're going to make sure that they work out every day no matter what, because that's something that's important to them, right? When people say, I don't have time to work out, all you're really saying to me is that you don't value it enough. It's not important enough for you. Because I can point out plenty of other people that have the same amount of time as you have, and also have kids or also have other responsibilities, if not more, that still make the time for it because it's important to them, right? Or someone says, I don't have time for my rituals because you don't value it. It's not high up on your list of values, your morning ritual. Or if you say, I don't have time to focus on my happiness, or I don't have time for this. Again, all it comes down to is your values, which is what's determining the decisions of your life. Okay? Change your values, you'll change the entire directions, the decisions that you make. All right? So hopefully that's helping you understand. And I wish I could be there with you right now and have you share with me your current values, and hopefully you're going to actually write them down. Otherwise, you just listen to me, you're not going to get much benefit from this. So I encourage you to do that, whether it's after this video or during it, whether you pause me right now. But write down your current values of what's been determining your life, what's been important for you, and really go through the list and ask yourself, what's been more important, this one or this one? What's been more important, this one or this one? And really try to get clear on the hierarchy. Don't be perfect with it. Just do the best that you can. And I'd recommend maybe coming up with at least 7 values, okay? Now, once you've looked at the list and you've kind of identified some of the conflicts that you might be having, I want you to ask yourself this: what is the life that I want? What is the vision that I have for my life? And by the way, if you haven't yet watched the YouTube video that I did on how to create a life vision, where I share my vision for my life, I recommend you watch that. Or I recommend that you join my Life Mastery Accelerator program at lifemasteryaccelerator.com, because that one also is a bonus video there that shares how to manage your life and help you identify the vision that you have. But it really starts with that, because if you know what you want, the vision that you have, and I think everyone's got an incredible vision. And if you don't know by now, I'm a big believer that anything's possible. Whatever life you want to create, you can make it real. There's plenty of examples of people who have already done it, people that started with nothing or the worst possible circumstances and have been able to defy the odds and create an incredible life, right? If there's Oprah Winfrey's out there in the world, there's all these incredible role models and references and inspirations for you to model. So it starts with that. It's just suspending any disbelief that you have, deciding what is the life that I want, whether I want to live in a mansion, I want to be a multimillionaire, I want to travel the world, I want to feed children or build houses or schools, I want to transform my body, I want to lose 50 pounds, I want to attract the man or woman of my dreams. Whatever that is for you, get clear on that. And whatever is your vision, the vision that you have, I want you to ask yourself this, and again, I encourage you to write this down. What do my values need to be in order to create the life that I want? Okay? What do my values need to be in order to create my ultimate vision for my life? And what you'll discover is, number one, there might be a few things on that list that you didn't currently have before. So for example, maybe you discover, hey, I want to create an amazing business, and, I want to be able to help millions of people around the world and serve them. Man, I want to be able to volunteer in the world. I want to change people's lives. I want to create a legacy. I want to be healthy and fit and vibrant, energetic. Man, that when I look in the mirror, I smile. Or, I want to be charismatic or confident. I want to be able to speak on stage in front of thousands of people and be able to move them, be able to influence them to go for better choices in their lives. Or, I want to be able to create an amazing love affair, an amazing love story, and be able to travel the world with my love and have so much passion, so much intimacy. I want to create a beautiful family. If that was your vision, what would your values need to be? Well, I can think just off the top of my head, and again, I encourage you to write this down. For me, that vision that I just stated, health would be important, right? Because I described having health, energy, vitality, and to be able to create a business and be able to speak in front of thousands, be able to travel the world, all that stuff requires health and energy. So I'd say, okay, that is something I got to value more if I want to create that life, because that life requires a lot of energy. Trust me, right? If you want a life that's active, not a life that isn't abundant, you're going to require a lot of energy, a lot of health, and be able to enjoy yourself and have the longevity so you can enjoy it for a long period of time. I described contribution. Well, that's something I'm going to have to value a lot more to be able to create that life, because if I want to impact people, I've got to value contribution more. I got to not value myself as much and really value service to others. And if I want to make a difference in the world, man, even if I want to create a business and create success, a lot of people, they create a business for their own selfish reasons. It's all about them making a certain amount of money. But man, I realize, you know what? If I want to create that life and a successful business, I got to become the kind of person that cares more about others, that cares about my customers, potential customers, and can create products and services that can really serve them, that can really make a difference and help them in their lives. So that's something I got to value more, right? Or maybe it's love, because if I want to create an amazing love affair with passion, I got to value those ones a lot more as well. Okay, so once you know your vision, you make the list. What are the values that I need to have to create that life? And then again, you got to determine the hierarchy. Out of the list that you got, and again, write them down. I don't care if it's 10 values, 15, 20, 7, at least 7 I recommend. Ask yourself, what has to be number 1? What has to be most important here? Okay? Write that one down. And then ask yourself, okay, what has to be more important? Is it this one or this one? Is it this one or is it this one? And you might decide, you know what, maybe it's this one. Is it happiness? Maybe, you know what, I want to not just achieve success, but I want to be happy along the way. I don't want to buy into the illusion that success is going to make me happy. What if instead I decide that I'm going to be happy first, and sure enough, by being happy, you'll probably create more success. What a concept. You know, that was my experience. My experience was, you know what, I've got to be successful, then I'll be happy, then I'll play, then I'll have fun. But then I realized, you know what if instead I value happiness and passion and love first? What it did was, number 1, it made me enjoy the process a lot more. I enjoyed the journey of building my business. I wasn't on the pain train like I was for so many years. Always hard on myself, beating myself up because it was never enough. I wasn't perfect, or I didn't do what I needed to do, or my standards weren't 100% consistent every single day, right? I sacrificed my happiness. Big mistake. Do not recommend that. Do not do that anymore. Stop. Stop. Value your happiness so much more, because at the end of, that's what you really want. That's what you want to enjoy your life. So I realized, man, if I make my happiness more important, if I make passion and love more important, what I actually found is I had more energy. I created more success because I loved it. I loved what I was doing. And sure enough, if you're happier, if you're more loving, if you're more passionate, I also can guarantee you that you're going to attract someone totally differently in your life versus if you didn't have those high up on your list. Because people are attracted, men, women, relationships, by someone who is happy, who is passionate, who is more loving, who does take good care of themselves. Or you know what? I can guarantee if you're happier, you're going to make better decisions about what to eat, what to fuel your body with. You're going to feel more like going to the gym, right? Versus sacrificing it, making it lower on your list. So there's certain ones I believe that are just critical to have, important to you. But you really got to go through and look at, and again, this requires a lot of work. Okay, this is work. This is your life. I don't know what's more important than this, but this requires work for you to go and dig deep and identify, okay, this is what it needs to be. This is what needs to change. This is what my values, in this order, that's going to pull me towards the life that I want. Okay, it will pull you towards it. And let me tell you guys, I did this 5 years ago, changed my life, and I've done it almost every year or two since, because at different stages of your life, your values will change, right? I know for myself, when I have kids and I have a family, my values will change, right? Oftentimes, for most people, it does. Early on, maybe building your business, you might have to value certain things a lot more versus at a different stage of your life, a different stage of success, or maybe you have to value relationships more at a different stage of your life. I'm not sure what that is for you. Again, it's all based on the vision that you have, and your vision is always evolving, it's always adapting. It's not stagnant. Okay, you're always updating and improving your vision as well. I recommend doing that every year or two, and then update your values with that too. And then what you want to do is when you got your list, write it out. Write it out, put it up on your wall, put it somewhere you can see it every day, and start to condition those values to be a part of you. That when you make decisions from now on, you make your decisions based on your set of values, okay? Your set of values. And when you make your decisions based on your values, then that's what's gonna lead you to the life that you are really after, okay? And if you keep operating off your past values, then you're going to keep the same old, what your life has already been. And I'm not sure, maybe your life is amazing. Maybe it's beautiful, awesome. Maybe your values are great. Keep them. Maybe tweak or modify, see how you can enhance them. But if you're not happy with where you're at, then you got to make a change. Because if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always got. So write it out, put it up on the wall. You know, for me, I have this. I read it every single day. I review them. I focus on it, and I say, I say affirmations to myself as part of my morning ritual. And by the way, Morning Ritual Mastery. If you're not a member, go to morningritualmastery.com. You got to have a morning ritual because that's how you condition yourself. And your morning ritual, by the way, for me, it's an opportunity for me to experience and take care of, number one, my health. That's why first thing when I wake up, drinking water, taking care of my health, making sure I have the energy, I get on the rebounder, I take my supplements, I do certain things to make sure I have the health and energy that I want. I also make sure love. I connect with myself. I look myself in the mirror, part of my ritual, and I give myself that right away. Right away, I look at myself in the eyes and I tell myself that I love you. Right? For me, my whole ritual is an act of self-love. Because there's nothing, if you love someone, what will you do for them? Anything. Right? If you love someone, you'll compliment them. You'll tell them that you love them. You'll spend time with them. Well, that's what a ritual is. It's me spending time with myself. Me complimenting and praising myself to give myself love. Cultivating that relationship. Same thing with happy and cheerful. I do my affirmations and condition that and experience the happiness, the joy first thing in the morning. Gratitude first thing in the morning. Okay, that's got to be, I've got to make sure I'm living these values in my life. I got to live them every single morning and make them important before I even get to success, before I even get to building my business or opening my emails or doing any of that stuff. Because if you're checking your emails first thing in the morning, you're valuing your business more than all the other things that I believe are more important that will actually support you even more. Okay? So, have it out. Now, let me share with you guys some of the values that I have. These are my newest list of values, and it's modified again many of the years. And like I said before, it was very different. But for me, the stage of life that I'm in right now, these are the values that I put together that's going to allow me to create the life that I want. So for me, number one, health and energy. Okay, that's my vehicle. My body is my vehicle. This is what allows me to experience life. This is what allows me to experience this incredible gift. If you don't take good care of it, you only get one. Can't replace it. I don't care how much money you got. Most people, they can't buy their health back. You got to take really good care of it. For me, this is more important than any amount of money. Okay, this is priceless because there's people out there that would give anything, all the money, billions of dollars to have what you have, which is health and youth and energy. And you got to take good care of that. And I'd much rather be proactive than reactive. And so that's why for me, that's number one. This is what's required to create everything else in my life. Okay, love is number two. Love is what we all really want at our soul. My belief is, love is oxygen for the soul. And we're all born in unconditional love, and we're looking for ways to get it for the rest of our lives. And so for me, love is critical. My relationship with my lady is so important as well. Happy and cheerful, that's important for me. That's why, many people see me, I'm always smiling. I'm always having a good time. I'm always happy and grateful because I value it. I make it a priority. I make it a priority first thing in the morning. I smile, right? I actually force myself to be happy and cheerful. Even if I don't feel like it, I do. Right? Because just the act of doing it conditions it, sets off that anchor where you automatically start to feel happy. Gratitude, you got to already appreciate what you got before you even decide to create more. Because if you don't love and appreciate what you already have in your life, then you're not going to be grateful for more of what's going to be coming your way. And I believe just when you're grateful, you're going to attract a lot more in your life as well. Passion, I need a tremendous amount of passion to create the life that I want. To create a passionate relationship, to have passion for my business, for my health, my body, to travel the world, to be able to impact people. I need that passion. Passion is critical. It's really what allows you to, it's an energy force that just allows you to accelerate everything in your life that much more and really enjoy it. Abundance, this one for me was actually a big one. I thought myself, in the past, scarcity was a big one for me. I used to live in a lot of scarcity. And then I thought to myself, man, what would happen if I put abundance on my list? What would change in the decisions that I make in my life? You know, if I value abundance a lot more, I would be more generous. I would give more because I wouldn't feel so attached and so scared to give. I wouldn't feel so much scarcity in my life, right? I'd be more giving, I'd be happier, more joyful. So abundance is on my list. Faith, being guided, really crucial for me. My faith, my connection with my Creator, and just being guided in my life. Confidence requires tremendous amount of confidence to do what I do, to speak and coach and lead people. Being physically fit, important for me. Growth, success, I can go through the whole list. Fun and adventure, being my best, being a leader, and contribution. And really there's more, okay? And not that I don't value other things as well, okay? Or maybe you don't. We all value many different things, but these are just my top ones, if that makes sense, okay? So these are my list. These are the values that I've got. And hopefully this process can help you understand your life a little bit more and understand how you've been living your life and help you understand what needs to shift, what needs to change for you to create the life you really want. So I really encourage you to actually take out your pen and paper, put yourself in an environment where there's no distractions. Make sure that you're in a great state. You're feeling good. Maybe you meditate, maybe you go to nature, but really go deep on this and spend some time, spend a few hours if you need to. You don't have to be perfect with it, but this is your life. This is the values that are controlling your decisions in the life that you really want and are creating. And the more that you condition this every day, the more it becomes a part of you, the more that you live it, it becomes a part of who you are. So hopefully this exercise can give you more awareness in your life and help you create the life that you want. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear maybe some of your top values in your life and have that shared. And I'm always looking for new ones. I'm always looking at this and saying, how can I improve this? What needs to change? Maybe I gotta shift some things in different ways because my vision for my life is always changing as well. So I'd appreciate any ideas that you guys have, and just by hearing you guys, your values will be very helpful for everyone else. And of course, subscribe for more videos. And if you want more from me, check out ProjectLifeMastery.com or check out my Life Mastery Accelerator program, which is my monthly mentoring program. We go deep into different areas of your life, and I share a lot of really in-depth content. We commit ourselves to mastery there, and that's one of the best ways that I can serve you further if you're looking for more guidance, more coaching, more help. And that's at LifeMasteryAccelerator.com. So I want to thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.